I thought it was harmless until it cost me everything. My name is Julia. I'm 32. And I destroyed my marriage over what I convinced myself was just an innocent dinner. It was supposed to mean nothing. One night, one choice, a few hours out with my boss to celebrate a successful project. That's all. Or at least that's what I told myself. But that small decision, one that seemed so insignificant at the time, tore through my life like a wrecking ball. And now I'm sitting alone in an apartment that echoes with memories, trying to understand how everything unraveled so quickly. My husband Caleb is the kind of man people respect. Steady, grounded, dependable in a way that always felt like home. When we first met, it was his calmness that drew me in. Where I was impulsive, he was balanced. Where I doubted, he reassured. And in a chaotic world, Caleb was my safe place. He never raised his voice, never tried to control me, never questioned where I went or who I spoke to. His trust was unwavering. At first, I adored him for that. Isn't that what we all want? A partner who gives space without suspicion, who trusts without hesitation. But over time, that same calmness began to feel distant. No matter what I did, he never seemed shaken. I could come home late, and he'd greet me with a kiss and a soft, "Did you have fun?" If someone flirted with me, he'd laugh it off like it meant nothing. And slowly, it ate at me. I didn't want a jealous man, I need to be clear about that. But I began craving something that proved I was irreplaceable, that I mattered enough to spark an emotion. I wasn't seeking drama. I just wanted to feel like I wasn't simply expected, like I wasn't just some reliable fixture he assumed would always be there. That's when the thought crept in. What if I tested him? Not in a cruel way, or at least that's what I told myself, but in a way that might wake him up. Then came Martin, my boss. Confident, charming, the kind of man who could read a room and say exactly what someone wanted to hear. He had always been a bit too smooth, but nothing I couldn't handle. After a big presentation we worked hard on, he invited me to dinner. Just the two of us, no team, no work pretense. I knew how it looked. I knew what it could become. But I told myself it was harmless, that I deserved to celebrate, that Caleb wouldn't care. That same evening, Caleb suggested we go out together, unaware of Martin's invitation. And I lied. I told him it was a group dinner with colleagues. I wanted to see if he'd push back, ask questions, maybe even show a flicker of jealousy. But he didn't. He kissed my cheek and said, "Have fun, Jules." For some reason, that infuriated me. It was like screaming into a void. Was I really that unimportant? So I left. I told myself I was proving a point. But in truth, I was burning everything I had built. When I came home, Caleb was awake, sitting on the couch with a book. He asked how dinner was. His voice was calm as ever, but the air felt different, thinner. I gave him vague answers, pretending it was nothing. But I couldn't meet his eyes. Over the next few days, something shifted. He didn't confront me. He didn't accuse. He just pulled away. Conversations grew shorter. The light in his eyes dimmed. The way he used to reach for my hand in bed disappeared. Then one night he asked, "Did you go out with Martin alone?" No anger. No edge. Just quiet certainty. I froze. Part of me wanted to lie again, but the stillness in his eyes made it impossible. "Yes," I whispered. But it wasn't like that. It was only dinner. He nodded once, said, "I see," and walked away. That was the moment I realized I had broken something beyond repair. Days passed. Weeks followed. I tried to pull him back, cooked his favorite meals, asked about his day, reached for affection, but it was like grasping smoke. Finally, after weeks of silence, I begged him, "Caleb, can we talk? I want to fix this." He looked at me, unreadable, and said, "I think we're done." I felt like the air had been knocked from me. "What? You're just giving up?" He shook his head. "You think this is sudden, but I've been trying for years to make you feel loved. All this time, it felt like you were waiting for someone else." I pleaded, promised I'd never test him again, but it was too late. He left the next day. My marriage ended in silence, and the fallout began. Martin, the man I thought gave me attention I lacked, quickly revealed his true self. His compliments became suggestions. His charm turned into pressure. The attention I once sought felt cheap and disgusting. When he crossed the line, I reported him to HR, but the damage was done. Coworkers whispered. Some distanced themselves. Others saw me as the villain in a story I never realized I was writing. My family wasn't kinder. My sister, with more scorn than sympathy, said, "You always wanted more. Now you got it." Even Caleb's parents, who once treated me as their own, cut me off. I was alone. And for the first time in my life, I truly understood what that meant. I thought I was testing Caleb to prove he cared. But the truth is, he already showed it every day. In the trust he gave me. In the quiet steadiness he offered. In the peace he provided when life was too loud. But I craved fireworks, blind to the fact that the gentle flame was what kept our home warm. I tested his love, but all I did was push him past his limits. And when he broke, he didn't come back. Months have passed. The divorce is final. The apartment is silent. I left that job. Started fresh in a place, without reminders. I'm in therapy now, working on myself, on why I craved chaos, why I confused love with jealousy, why I destroyed something real because it didn't look the way I imagined. The pain hasn't vanished. It comes in waves. Sometimes a song, a scent, or a picture shatters me all over again. But I'm learning. I'm learning that love isn't loud. It doesn't need to be dramatic to be real. Sometimes love is the quiet way someone makes space for you, the way they listen, the way they let you exist freely without trying to mold you. Caleb gave me that every single day, and I threw it away, chasing a story that existed only in my mind. If I ever find love again, if life ever grants me another chance, I'll know better. And to anyone who feels what I once felt, listen to me. Don't wait for jealousy to prove your worth. Don't mistake peace for indifference. And don't destroy something beautiful just because it doesn't burn like fireworks. Because one night, just one night, can change everything. And sometimes you don't get another chance.